Welcome to Put a Word on It, a podcast presented by Men of Valor. In each episode, we're going to talk with a different man, but each one with a unique journey from brokenness to freedom. I'm your host, Rudy Kalis. I spent over 40 years as a TV sportscaster, then retired and joined the Men of Valor program as a volunteer. So join the conversation. Reconciling men to God, their families, and society. Welcome to another edition of Put a Word on It, brought to you by Sage Spring Wealth Partners. We thank them so much for all that they have done. And we're in Knoxville, Tennessee at Valor Way, which is growing. Nearly 30 men are here now. Their lives change after coming out of incarceration. It's exploding in this area. I want you to meet a young man, Austin Steelman. You meet him and you just look in his eyes. I've said to him, the eyes are the mirror to your soul. And he's got an old soul about him. He may only be 23 years old, but he's been through a lot in his life. And listen to him. He talks like a man who understands who he is. You know what? I heard of several people out there say, you're real mature for your age. Now, does that seem funny for you to hear somebody say that to you?
Yeah, in a way it does, because, as I grew up around people my age, of course, it's different seeing how I am and then watching others, because I don't know. I just don't connect with anybody really my age. I've always hung out with older people,
Kind of an old soul, you think? Maybe you got a little bit of that in you? Even as a kid?
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about growing up.
Rockwood, Tennessee.
How big a town?
It's not big at all. Probably about 5,000 people, maybe.
That's it?
That's it.
What kind of a kid were you growing up?
I was good till I was about 11 years old, and then I started smoking weed and.
How do you get weed at 11?
Well, it wasn't. My mom and dad, they always told me to tell them the truth about anything I done. So I did. I told them when I was 11 years old, I smoked some weed. Then I started smoking weed with my dad, and then, at 12 I had sex, and then it was I told them about that, and it was all everything. I don't know. It was just.
Were they okay with it, or did you get a whipping for it? No. Okay.
No. Yeah, they was all right with it.
Is that the way it is in a small town?
No, probably not. But the way I grew up, my mom and dad was more like a brother and a sister to me than they was a mom and dad.
They must have been young when they had you.
No. Of course. Well, my mom was about 22, 23.
No, normal age.
Normal age.
Sort of stuff.
I was the last out of four of my mom. My mom had, I have a half brother and a half sister, and then one full-blooded sister.
Okay. You think all that with the weed and then some of the other stuff and all kind of snowballed a little bit as you went along?
Yeah, my aunt, as I was growing up, my aunt was she always told me, well, that's going to lead you to other things. It's a gateway drug. No, it ain't. I got this. I know what I'm doing. How you think when you're, teenager.
What kind of people,
everything.
What kind of people did you run with? People that did the same thing?
Yeah. Well, I started selling weed when I was 14. And because I moved, my granny had a stroke. My mom, she had a stroke when I was 11. And when I started smoking weed, then she had custody of me. And then I went and stayed with my mom and dad, for a little bit. And then I went and stayed with my cousins. And I was working, I was going to school. I was in middle school. I was going to school, and then I was working with my Uncle Tom, mowing yards and stuff. And that was bringing in a little money. And then I was, I had to provide for myself, from where I was living at. And so I started doing.
Did it lead you into trouble?
Did it? Eventually, yeah, because then I picked up meth. I got introduced to methamphetamines at 15 years old. And
were you hooked the first time you took it?
No, but I liked it. I did like it. When I was hooked is when I started shooting it.
You're how old?
I'm 23.
Not now, but when you started shooting it?
18.
18?
Yep.
How bad did it get?
It got real bad.
To the point of getting incarcerated? Did you get arrested?
Well, it led to that. I was stealing cars. I was robbing. I was doing, just anything to get high. So.
Seems to me, though, you were probably a good kid. You got a great personality about you. So it was just.
Yeah, but drugs will bring you, to darkness. Drugs will bring you, to the way of. I got a good personality, but I can have a whole different demeanor in a split second.
How much jail time did you have to do?
I did 4 years, 3.5, 4 years.
What was that like? First time you're young. How old were you when you went in?
I was 20. Well, I was 19 when I went to county jail. I spent 2 weeks in the county jail and they shipped me to prison.
All right, you go into prison. Wham! Gate slammed shut.
Yeah.
What happens inside of a mind of a kid looking around at the age of 20?
I don't know. It was an experience,
Scary or not?
Yeah, when I first got there, and then I got pretty comfortable. Then I got really comfortable because I was all right there.
You were all right.
I was good, yeah. I know it sucked. Yeah, of course I was scared, but I don't know. It's weird to say because I don't have to pay a water bill. I don't have to pay a light bill. I don't have to, I got food, 3 meals a day, and I was just comfortable there. I was good there.
Is that when you started getting the artwork?
No, I had a little bit of it when I was on the street, but then I got a bunch of it filled in.
A lot of guys get it when they're in prison.
Yeah.
Why? Nothing else to do?
Well,
sometimes it's to cover up so people don't bother them, so I look bad.
Oh yeah, no. I just got it because I just had like little stuff here and there. Like I had them words there, and then I just had my last name on the back of my arm, and then I had just that it says life this way and then death that way.
Ooh.
And then I just wanted it all filled in. I wanted it all instead of just one here, one here, one here.
So when did life change and how?
My life for me, well, in prison, I was still like every now and again I'd veer off to getting high. I was drinking.
People think that's not available in prison.
Oh yeah, it is. There's probably more dope in there than there is out here. But anyway, I was getting high, and then like 6 months before I got out, I'd go to my homeboy's cell, and we'd be in there, and they'd be there passing around a bowl or whatever, and I'd be like, "No, I'm good, man. I just come in here to hang out." And then it'd come around again, and I'm like, "All right, man, let me hit it." And then something, I just feel bad. I just feel real bad about it. And I got into the word. I got into the Bible, and I started to pray because I was finna get out.
On your own, just started reading.
Well, I as growing up, my mama used to take us to church and stuff as a little kid when I was like 8 or 9, and I didn't really, I'm a kid. I don't really know nothing about it. Whatever. I got saved, and then I went to prison in 2020. When I went to prison December 16th, 2020. I was in there with my dad. I got put in the cell with my dad.
Oh, your dad.
And was going to church, and then I got saved there again. That's what I counted my first time getting saved. As a kid, I don't really count that because
you may not know exactly what you're doing.
I got saved at that time, and I was reading a little bit there while I was locked down, and then I didn't until 6 months before I got out. I started going to this Men of Valor thing and heard about it. And God sat me down, and he's like, "Is this what you want to do? Because it's waiting on you on the outside." So,
So it's for real.
Yeah.
You've been out 7 months.
I've been out 7 months.
Gone to a welding school now.
I'm going to a welding school.
You see a future? I
try not to make too big of plans of what I'm gonna do. I just try to go day by day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I just if I think about what I need to do 6 months from now, I'm gonna get overwhelmed and it's just gonna be too much. So I'm just gonna live it day by day.
What does it do to you? Because I hear out there some of the people who work here and stuff put their arm around you, say you are really mature for your age. Does that put pressure on you, or do you like to hear that?
It's good to hear. It's good to. I don't try to. This is just me. I don't try to act any type of way or I'm by no means I'm not a perfect. I know you're perfect in Christ, but I'm not perfect. You know what I mean?
But I think you found out who you really are, though.
Yeah, I have.
And that's a neat feeling. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Our programs put a word on it.
Yeah.
Give me one word that you think comes to your mind when you think about yourself and your walk with our Lord.
Success.
Now, why do you say that?
Because he's brought me to where I am now.
I like that. It's another word we've never had before.
Yeah.
But you got to work to get there, don't you?
That's right.
And you're willing to work.
Yep.
I think you're going to be a businessman someday.
I'm trying.
I love you. You're straight up.
Yeah.
You're a good man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're going to do well.
Thank you very much.
All right, Austin. Well, I liked what Austin said, success. I don't think we've ever had anybody say that, but you look at him. You can see that determination. We got done with the interview and he said, you know what? I don't ever straddle the fence. I'm either all in or I'm all out, and I'm all in. This is the way my life is going to be. You watch this young man. He's going to be quite a story for all of us to follow. Thanks for joining us. Join us again next time as we put a word on it.